rather than what they had originally said, Tuesday, September 14th, and that reads here as follows. The Laundries were basing the date Brian left on their recollection of certain events. Upon further communication with the FBI and confirmation of the Mustang being at the Laundrie residence on Wednesday, September 15th, we now believe the day Brian left to hike in the preserve was Monday, September 13th. Okay, that allows us now, and Brad bringing this up here allows us to circle back into the new developments here today, which is the abandoned vehicle report that we obtained from Northport Police. While it is heavily redacted, it does include a timestamp on it, that timestamp being September 14th at 2:42 in the afternoon here at 6968 Reisterstown Road in Northport, Florida. That ordinance being 4256, that ordinance of an unoccupied vehicle, an abandoned vehicle that was left there. So let's kind of break this down. They had previously told the Laundrie parents, Chris and Roberta, previously had said that that he had left the home on Tuesday, September 14th, right, which is the same date as this here, as the abandoned vehicle. Right. And then they kind of, okay, so based on, actually, when we really think about it now, it was actually a day earlier. It was on the 13th here. And there have been people that have been online speculating, is this report now being a public record? Is this coming out now attached to Stephen Bertolino kind of, receiving information from his clientele here, that the date is now 24 hours earlier? Are the two here connected in any which way?
Yeah, I don't know that. I think the important part of it, though, is to help refine the timeline. I think what we're here for is trying to nail down the most accurate timeline we can get to help provide answers, because an accurate timeline is going to give you the best answers you can get. Because right now, things have been flying. It's this date. He bought a phone on the 14th. He bought a phone on the 4th. We're seeing so many different dates come in and then changes to that. Ironically, from the attorney, we're getting some dates changed because we're pushing to get some answers. But if that's the case, and we take that as official word, that does change a lot of things. It does change a lot of things in the timeline, and now suddenly that's an extra day. That's an extra day, and where he could have gone. That's an extra day to
cover a lot of ground in a day.
Oh, sure,
a lot of ground.
Where could you be right now in a day if you started traveling? You could be
in a car.
Yeah, 24 hours. You could be to what? Colorado? Maybe not.
Well,
I don't know. I'm just saying.
I remember a couple of weeks ago we were on stream. We were talking about, if you really, I'm talking a 6-pack of Red Bull or Monster Energy drink. If you were booking it and you were like just stopping for gas and to grab a sandwich, if you were like gunning it, you could probably make it to Canada in a day.
Probably don't want to gun it. Might get pulled over.
That's exactly what the point we brought up, though, on stream was that you don't want to attract police attention. You don't want to be doing 95 on the interstate.
Right.
So,
but you could get far. And so I think that's important because it really refines the timeline for everybody to help kind of understand where we're at.
Appreciate the comment here from Brad here.
And let's live, by the way, this video.
This just popped up right when
this is live
the whole time. Right?
This is live still.
Yeah. This is Justin?
That's Justin.
Okay, good. The mailman was there. It's funny just watching everyday life just outside of the reserve. I don't know who that is.
Not sure either.
She's got paperwork.
Let's continue. We have only 5 more minutes here. Let's kind of go rapid fire.
Fast.
Yeah, it goes fast. Brandy Cooper, #KJB, #KJosh. Do you think if Brian Laundrie was connected to the double murder in Moab, would they tell us or keep it a secret? This has been out now for weeks.
Yeah, a lot of people starting to talk about that now.
They eliminated any potential connection between the double homicide in Moab and Brian Laundrie. They have ruled that out. The sheriff's office there issuing that statement weeks ago.
And I think people have brought that back. That was an initial discussion, but now even recently, as the last few days, people are trying to make that connection. So according to them, it's not a connection we can make.
Another flare-up. Yeah, we see a lot of flare-ups on social.
Well, look, that's what happens when the case slows down a little bit. The search slows down. There's no, we don't have a ton of developments. We don't have a lot of things we can tell you. And that's frustrating because people want to see progress. And the FBI works quietly, they work diligently, they work behind the scenes, and they don't release any information for the most part. So while things are quiet, they're definitely back in that reserve or back investigating or doing search warrants, whatever it is that they're doing, and trying to make progress.
Brian Cousin, hashtag AJB, hashtag AJosh. Do we know if they are searching the Appalachian Trail after tips started coming in from there? And Brian, we just kind of addressed this. The FBI isn't going to telegraph to the world, why would they, that they're searching the Appalachian Trail? It's very possible that they are, but they're not.
Sassy, you think he killed them?
You have to
I know on
navigate
the
this under the possibility that Brian Laundrie has access to the internet, and if he does, you wouldn't telegraph to the world that you're searching there. So we don't know if they're searching, and the FBI is, if they pulled up to the Appalachian Trail, they're not going to do so in a marked vehicle or with a marked uniform. So it's impossible to say. It's very possible that they are looking in that area, and it's also extremely possible that they have evidence that keeps them honed in right here to the Carlton Reserve here in Sarasota County. Tanya Thomas, hashtag AJB. What about Cuba? It would be easy for him to go there. They would let him in.
No.
Okay. Folks,
Canada, you need your passport.
Have you ever been south of the Florida Keys just for fishing? It's 90 miles from Florida to Cuba. That's not something you do in a kayak. And people who are saying, oh, it'd be so easy to just go over to Cuba. 90 miles by water sounds to some short.
How do you get there?
Yeah,
you're not going to take a canoe.
So again, does he have? Is there a boat
That's and you get that. Then that brings in the question: is who's helping him? Because if a lot of people think that this could happen, yeah, it could happen if you had some help, and that's the next big piece of this: is there any help, and is anybody helping him? And if that's the case, boy, they're going to be looking for a few people. So it's you would need. I don't think you could pull something like that off personally by yourself, unless you had resources. And if you're quickly trying to get stuff together to get on the run, you don't have time to make appointments and plan out your escape very well. I don't know. At least that's what I think.
Gina Prophet, hashtag AJB, hashtag AJosh. Do we know if Brian is armed? He would need to feed and protect himself while in the wilderness. We don't know if Brian Laundrie is armed.
Do not know.
This has been a question that's been asked several times. We don't know the answer to that question. Carla Rickafort, hashtag AJB. Do you know what Brian purchased when he used Gabby's card?
No, I think we asked that, didn't we? And
let me just make this very, very clear. I know that we have to stay rooted in fact. There's nothing in the indictment. There's nothing in the federal arrest warrant that says it's Gabby Petito's card. So I have to make that very perfectly clear here first. Mm-hmm. It's, of course,
they were very specific. It was just a card.
It was just a Capital One debit card connected to two bank accounts ending in 0525 and 8665. And I have to be responsible here and staying in fact. So there's a lot of folks, of course. I think a vast majority of people that just say it's Gabby's card, and I just want to throw that out there.
And I think Walt reached out to the FBI asking if it was all used in one fell swoop or if there was several charges in several areas. And he didn't get an answer on that, but we don't know the spending and how the spending played out.
They put bank fraud charges against him because he took money out of Gabby's account.
Charges aggregating to a value of $1,000 or more. I mean, that's all we really know. Yep. We'll end out here with a couple from YouTube. Again, hello to YouTube, hello to Facebook, hello to everybody watching on WFLA.com, the WFLA app. FJ Farms on YouTube, hashtag AJB, hashtag AJosh. Have there been dogs at the Laundrie's house at all or around the neighborhood? I remember, I believe the dogs were there
early on. I would imagine.
Early.
And that's a great question,
but not recently.
Too. Haven't seen them in the last 2.5 weeks, I think. But that's a great question.
But they did go to collect belongings for the scent for canines.
But not with the dogs.
They didn't go to the house with the dogs themselves. They collected belongings for the dogs. And then we'll end out here with Sonia on YouTube, hashtag AJB, hashtag AJosh. How did the parents know the exact location of his car in the reserve when the reserve is 25,000 acres? I'm from Australia, so I don't know the area. And really kind of the answer to this here, just about there's only so many places that you can park to go into the reserve here. And so the abandoned vehicle report was again at 6968 Reisterstown Road in Northport.
And that's a public parking lot, as far as I understand.
Yep, and that's where the Ford Mustang belonging to Brian Laundrie was found. Folks, we got to get going here on WFLA now. Josh,
all right, guys.
What are you going to be watching here in the hours ahead?
I just think the search is obviously interesting. That's the development day. We're focusing in on the response and how big the search is. It seems like it's a bit of an uptick today. There seems to be more resources out there, more agencies. So that could be a promising sign. But we'll
why else are you hiding and not trying to help the family locate her?
On Twitter,
why didn't you stay and talk to the police?
Josh, to give you any updates that I get in, and also with the vehicle report today, that was something new that we're starting to put some information out on. But other than that, it's pretty quiet. Haven't heard from the attorney today. I don't know if we'll be hearing from him today or not, but we will let you know.
And there's been a sort of a WFLA now curse over the last week that the moment that we hop off stream, something happens.
Yep.
So we're going to end the stream, and then in all likelihood,
it's a little early, so it gives us a little time if you have to jump back on.
We'll be right back on here live. If there's any new developments here in this case, we're back live here with you. We were live, of course, for those of you who were just joining us here in the last several minutes. We were live here at the beginning of the stream for Eagle 8 HD's flight over new police activity here, more police activity than we have seen in really a week at the Carlton Reserve there. They have a drone in the air. They split off into two separate groups of vehicles. It appeared to be unmarked vehicles as well as vehicles with Northport Police. And we reached out for confirmation. They said that it is an FBI-led search. And really, when it's the FBI in charge, you're just not going to get much information.
Correct.
Folks, follow Josh Benson, everybody on Twitter here, on Instagram, on Facebook. Just follow Josh everywhere. I think
just not personally. I don't need you following me like right behind me.
No, yeah,
because that gets a bit creepy.
That's yeah. You don't want to be looking over your shoulder literally at every moment, folks. Josh Benson, catch him tonight, everybody.
Thanks,
on WFLA.
We'll see you guys later.
News Channel.
All right, thank you guys.
We're about to wrap up here, everybody, on WFLA now. So where does this go from here? We're back here live with any additional developments here, folks. There could be updated information pertaining to what is going on here at the Carlton Reserve here. There's a video that we have for you on WFLA.com, as well as the document about the abandoned vehicle. You can read it here for yourself. We've got more programming coming your way here on WFLA.com, the WFLA app here in the next hour or so. But want to let you know here that if anything develops, we're back here with you live across all platforms. So you can sign up for push alerts. Folks who've been asking how this exactly works. And some folks, let's remind our audience, some folks more social media savvy than others, some more technologically savvy than others. You can sign up for push alerts on YouTube, on Facebook, so that the moment that we go live, that you see the push alert on your phone or on your particular device, and you can join us for the live breaking news coverage. You can also, of course, subscribe to the WFLA app where you can get push alerts there.
Cassie, just click the chat button.
But really, we want to let you know that we are constantly updating all of the articles, our article hub on Gabby Petito and Brian Laundrie.
I don't know how you might have to use your laptop to join.
They live right now on WFLA.com.
That's what everybody's been doing, and there's a join button there.
Want more from our award-winning team here, cranking out articles.
All right, guys. We're going to go.
Gabby Petito, the latest on Brian Laundrie.
And anything pops off, they find him dead or alive. We'll pop in.
I'm staying here with you live, folks, in the next hour or so. We're going to be doing more programming here on WFLA.com, the WFLA app.
So I'm going to see you in a few minutes. We're going back to the trial.
Other developments here in the Tampa Bay area here in Florida. But we are back live on stream with Gabby Petito, with Brian Laundrie.